Welcome, welcome, welcome. Trying to get all of my stuff right. Okay, here we go. We good. We good. We ready. I am Joseph R. Wheeler III, artist, founder, and president of the ONYXCON Foundation. Welcoming y'all back to another live as I walk in the rain. Y'all can't see it more than likely, but hold on, let me show you my shades. You see can y'all see the droplets? Hold on. Let me see. Can y'all see the droplets on my shades? Can y'all see the little droplets? It's just sprinkling. And in case it really want to do something, so that's what it's about right there, y'all. No matter what, I said to myself, I need a walk today. I looked at the forecast. I knew that it might rain, but it said 10%. So I said, well, that's either ain't gonna rain or gonna do what it's doing right now. Nothing worth really tripping about. Just, get ready for the real one. Let me go ahead and get these steps. Hell yeah. I prefer even to say miles, because they become miles. And that's what I count. I don't be counting 10,000. That's too confusing for me. I don't know about y'all. I don't like doing the 1,000 thing. I just tell you miles. If you know the mile system, you know how long it is. I'm in America. We don't deal with kilograms and all that. So, kilometers, excuse me. So yeah, we're gonna say miles. So I'm big on that. I'm big on I'm gonna try and do the 5. If I don't do it every day, hell, if I just do 2 at least. If I just do 1, I don't want a day of my life to go by I ain't walk at least a mile. And they say you don't know if you ain't walked a mile in somebody's shoes. Well, hell, you know yourself. You need to stay in touch with yourself every day. Walk a mile at least every day. So that's goals. I ain't saying I always get it. As much as I'm dedicated to staying fit and being in a fitness state of mind. Let me show y'all these flowers because these are just beautiful. Stop and observe the flowers, y'all. They make you feel good. They make me feel good. Plus, they purple. And I love purple. Yes, I do. But anyway, you got to get out and walk it out, man, because your health is everything. Your health is everything. And that's a big part of the topic I want to cover today. I want to talk about the expat life as I always do. Well, not always, but I tend to do it more and more often because I'll be telling y'all about the vlogging and everything that I do and how I want to do more of that. And if you're a vlogger, more than likely, there's an expat in you. The spirit of expatism is in your soul. You might be wrestling with it sometimes. You might be friends with it. You might be just trying to figure out, well, how, and yeah, but wait a minute. But if I did that, what's going to happen to this? And, well, what about my family? And what about my friends? And what about my stuff? Because it's mainly that right there. After family and friends, it'd be that stuff that holds you hostage. It's that, I got a car note, I got insurances, I got this thing and that thing. All these damn bills that you can't pay already anyway. And if you are paying them, you know you overpaying. I'm gonna say that again. If you are paying them, you know you overpaying. You know you overpaying, right? And this ain't for everybody. Like I say, none of my content is for everybody. All of what I do is for a select group of individuals around the world who understand what I mean as I define it for ONYXCON when I say the art life, when I say living your best art life. First, you gotta know what art is. You gotta know that art is this is the definition of art in the Chronicles of ONYXCON, okay? I created this definition, it's fail-proof. I promise you it's fail-proof. Art is any and every creative expression that appeals to, ignites, stimulates, whatever word you want to put in there, quite frankly, as long as it's dealing with reaction to your senses. All of your senses, including your sixth sense, your very essence, your soul, your third eye. Keep it open. Stay true woke. You understand? That's what we're talking about. So yeah, if you live the art life, if you appreciate the arts, if you know the value of creativity, if you know that when it really all comes down to past survival, you need imagination and inspiration, and through the vectors of imagination, you will get everything you need to be inspired to do anything else on every level. So whether you're an artist or not, you need art. Everybody. You know, I laugh when I hear people say that they don't care nothing about art. All that tells me is they're ignorant as hell and they don't know what art is. They dumb as I don't know what, they don't know what art is. If you riding around in a Mercedes Benz talking about, I love this car, fool, you love that art. Nobody ride in a damn fancy car just because it's a fancy car. It's because of how it looks. It's an art to that. You want to get technical? Hell, even the engine design. You know, folks who deep into all that, you ever seen a really, really well done, real maintained engine that's not just dirty and smutty? I'm talking about that thing gleaming. It's chromed out. It's been treated like this itself is a what? Is a piece of art. That's what I'm talking about. That's why we have ONYXCON rides. Because I ain't no mechanic and all that. I don't give a damn about all that part of it. But I appreciate it if it's treated like what I just said and you open the hood and I'm like, well, shit. Damn, that's beautiful. You know, versus, oh yeah, it's just an engine. No, that's beautiful. It's giving me a reaction. It's an art. I'm gonna say that again. It gave me a reaction. That's an art. So, for those who understand the value of art and what it is, those who truly appreciate and understand the depths of it all, then they're here for that. And that's why I do what I do. Because I know I got an audience. My only biggest frustration in being this real and having the kind of audience that I'm developing with multi-niche and all of those different categories that we yell all the time is that most people don't get it. And they're not gonna get it. But that's okay. I already did my research. I already ran my stuff through the AI and asked, you know, the technological genie of algorithms. I said, Chat GPT. And the other ones too, but I laugh because I always think about how powerful that is and everybody always saying it. People say Chat GPT like they, like, you know, I guess it's the damn summit of AI when there's so many other companies, but it is one of the most respected, so it is what it is. And I got respect for it because it's given me a lot of great ideas and helped me formulate some further opinions on things I researched through other outlets, but I based my numbers of what it is currently. I'm talking about subscribers, monthly counts, video numbers, everything. I gave it everything. I gave it all these basics for my stuff. And I said, how many people in the world, based on these numbers, could we possibly have as an audience? Not based on now, I'm saying possibly based on, if this many people already like it, if the entire world was aware of ONYXCON on YouTube, how many other people would likely subscribe and appreciate this type of content, this multi-niche content, this art life, all these different things that we are defining as art and explaining what art is and all that? How many? And I did a live about that. And I got my percentage. And after that, I made a goal. Like no other goal. I have goals all the time. I got plans all the time. But it just keeps adding. It keeps multiplying. It keeps going. And I came up with a master plan, so to speak, of what I know is going to work for getting to the goal. So I'm never worried about if I have all 8 billion people on the planet appreciating and loving what I do. Hell no, never. Matter of fact, that would be kind of strange because it wouldn't be realistic. And I wouldn't trust it if it were. I'd be like, you know, ain't nowhere in the hell all these fools like me. You know, they ain't nowhere in the world they all love this organization. Ain't nowhere in the hell they like this content. You wouldn't believe it. You know it's full of shit, right? But when you deal with factual evidence based on, like I say, real numbers, real possibility, you can come to a certain understanding of what's possible, and you get real, real focused. So it's the same type of focus I have on knowing that for those of us who are fed up, because they have done other types of research and other types of analysts of what is going on to be in America and forever, it's a weird feeling because like you love being where you're from. I love Atlanta. I'll always be an ATLian. Can't no government, can't no corrupt anything corporate or any of that ever destroy my love for why when I say ATL. I'm not talking about any of those people. I'm talking about things I experienced that shaped me in beautiful ways and gave me a certain type of cultural prowess that cannot be mistaken, that it's only us. Only we got that. And it's unique. It's as unique as anybody from anywhere else in the nation, right? That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. You know, somebody tell you they from LA and they got a certain type of thing in their voice or a certain mannerism or certain things they do, and it ain't all one thing. He'd always say, for the cultures is our phrase. We don't do that one singular mono bullshit. We do for the cultures with a Z or with an S, but I prefer to add the Z when I'm speaking of hip hop because that's my generation and we so dominant. We the paradigm shift to the whole thing from 1974 forward. If you was born in them 70s, you understand. Especially if you was born in them 80s, you might get it. I say might because I don't give them all the credit. I'm sorry. Too many of them have shown their ass to let me know they bit this new stuff and thought that they were better or something weird, and they don't have to listen to their elders and they don't have no respect. And they'd rather be ratchet and all that old dumb shit. But those of us who was raised by some men, yeah. And some women, some real men and women, yeah. That's who I'm talking to. That's who I'm talking to wherever you at in the world. Because that's so more and more unbendable. You can't, see, man, there's so many topics I got in my heart today. Y'all don't even know how I'm gonna stay focused on one. I'll be real with y'all. I got too many on my mind today. I'm gonna be all over the place. Just get ready. This is one of them master tangent days. Get ready. We tangenting today, goddamn. It's tangent day. Sorry, not sorry, damn it. This is what it's gonna be. This is what it's gonna be today. Gotta do it like that. Can't help myself. Man, what I just said, right, about the power of the family units and what that instills in people and how they are raised and how they know themselves and how important that is. And a crisis that most of America and most of the world, can't put it all on this place, but I will say this place in the UK and what they call the West is the culprit of the mindset. Because a lot of this stuff that has become normalized, a broken family and no sense of real identity and all that kind of bullshit stuff, that starts here. That ain't accepted in many other places in the world. That is still like, hell no, don't bring that mess over here. In a lot of other places in the world. I ain't saying everywhere, because even in those places, and it's sad because there are movements to be like, no, we need that. That's freedom, because they believe the packaging that America says is some land of freedom. Holy shit. That's what I've come to see. They start to believe that word freedom. They just hear, it's a word. First of all, if you don't speak the language from another place, you don't even speak English, but you've learned that one word and you know what that means, and you say, man, hell yeah, that's what we don't have. We don't have freedom. And in some ways that may be true in other places. In some ways that may be true. In some ways, a lot of things, everybody got their problem. Everybody got something they need to work on. Every culture, every group of peoples has something they could do to make themselves better. But I promise you, if you look into this place, when they keep yelling about freedom and calling that your example, You need to find a better example of the definition. Because the word is beautiful when it's really defined for what it really is. And what they talking about ain't it. I promise you. I promise you. I was watching, and I've spoken of her channel before because I recently discovered it. But sister goes by, I don't know her last name or nothing like that. It's not even important because she's smart enough to understand. Let me promote my first name. People gonna know you by your first name. They don't have to know nothing else. But her channel is Chloe's Way. So shout out to Chloe. Because what she did, and this one thing I watched. Now, first of all, when I found out about her, it was on Isaiah Bradley. Shout out to him. He's a young brother who's in Thailand. Total expat content. That's what he does. But the thing about his channel is he focuses on actual cost of living. No matter who he interviews, family, single, whatever the situation, he gonna find out what y'all paying every month. And his thumbnail usually is the lure in because it's gonna be like $350 a month rent. What? You know, and you see the person now. Me, I ain't saying what like that no more. I used to be. I'm so many months ahead of already knowing. It's just one more, it's one more notch on the hell yeah, I believe it. Cause I've been hearing this forever. I've been knowing this forever. I ain't gonna say forever. I'm not gonna do that. When I'm saying forever, symbolically, forever in my journey the beginning of my journey as into this expat state of mind. And you could say that started around maybe. Hell, that really has been developing all my life for my love of travel and wonder and all that. But to be specific, probably around the time of that dang pandemic, man, because I just really knew, I said, you know, it was scary. It was that, you mean tell me this could be it? Like, you know, friends of mine and family of mine going, and no one knows who's next. And I'm like, and this gonna be, and I'm gonna just be like, I didn't go nowhere. I didn't get a chance to get no passport stamp. Cause I had a passport way back when I was married, and now I've been divorced. Divorced since 2014. Official papers 15, you know. That's only said for the ladies, if anybody curious, ladies, you know what I'm saying. Y'all shouldn't be surprised. I'm always telling you. I don't mind telling that. You know, no kids too, ladies. Yeah, but and there's more to be said about what criteria I need from you, ladies. But let's really not go on that tangent yet. So let me get back to what I was saying. So anyway, so you know, since then I've been really about it, and that's when I made my decision. I said I will get a passport stamp. And I should have, and I'm going to give it this clause, because whether I get a passport stamp or not, I will travel somewhere the funk away, meaning out of the state of Georgia, out of the common that I'm used to, put it like that, for the rest of my life. That was my goal. And so far, so damn great, because I've been able to do that for 3 years. But now, this year's been a real pain in the earth because of all this financial savagery going on out of the policies of this regime that has taken over and their diabolical plans to only make them and their friends rich, while the buffoons who think that they are part of the party cheer them on with steady displacement of those who thought they wanted this, even saying, what did we do? Oh my gosh, well, everybody else, man, don't even want to hear that, I told you so. I don't even want to say it. It's beyond, man, we done. We don't even care no more, man. Some of us, we numb, y'all. We numb. We numb. We indifferent, we cold, we through. We've been through. We not begging nobody to understand. We not trying to worry about nobody else's plan. That's your life. This is mine. Just stay out my path and let me do what the hell I'm here to damn do, because I'm going where I'm going. And can't nobody stop me. Nobody. Come hell or high water, I'm going to get the out of here. but still be here in essence. See, that's the difference in what people don't understand. For some people who think when they hear the word expat, they really think, it's about forever just being like, damn it all, I hate it. And it ain't that simple, Goofy. I just said, there's things about this place I will forever love. Because this land, the true real, this right here, that's pure. That's pure. The land is pure. The people got fucking issues. That's what I'm always saying. That's what everybody who's real woke is talking about. And we don't want to debate with them others. We don't want to get into nothing with you. You don't argue with a psychopath. You get out their way, and if they attack, you eliminate. It's simple. It's no debate. It's no debate. There's nothing to be elaborating on and constantly arguing about and trying to pretend there'll be some social solutions to some shit that's still the same as it was when my parents was growing up. We can't keep playing this game. There's better options. So damn near every day at some point, I'm gonna get it like a vitamin. I'm gonna say it to myself if I don't even watch nobody else say it, but I'll watch content that reinforces this mindset. And why I know I'm right when I say what I know I am, and what I ain't gonna be, and what I'm not gonna tolerate. Because I work too damn hard just to be surviving but not thriving. That's bullshit. That's bull, y'all. That's not why you here. If you know your purpose. Now that you got to define for yourself. I know mine. I know why I was born. And I've been manifesting for quite a while. And I'm going to keep right on manifesting. Well, what I know, when I look at my fellow people who are waking up, I say, man, we're going to be all right, because this is what has always happened throughout history when there are minority groups of people who said enough is enough, and they did it. And they didn't always group up, and that's the other thing. It's just some people just gotta be in a group. I ain't gotta be in no damn group. I don't need to pick nowhere where when I get there, there's a bunch of other black people from America. I don't need that. And somebody, I bet you must hate people. No, I don't hate nobody. I only get along with people who are like me in the way they keep their peace, who understand what matters in life versus more so, because ain't nobody exactly on the same page as you, but more so, right in line with the way I am. And you can see it in a society when you see a place that has a certain type of balance and peace, and how some things just don't even matter. They're not even discussion. They're not even conversation. They're not even conflict. We don't even talk about that. Like, it's like, what are you talking about? Man, live, right? You got something to eat, right? Yeah. Okay, you woke up with a roof, right? Yeah. All right. You healthy, right? I feel all right. All right. Shut up. You good. Leave me alone. Bye. It's like, yo. Oh, man. I told y'all I'm going to be on a bunch of tangents. I ain't forgot. I got to bring y'all back to what I was saying about Chloe's channel. So Chloe's Way is the name of her channel. Beautiful sister, too. She ain't hard on the eyes. That's why I know she winning. Pretty privilege is real. And she got it. And the best thing is she's aware of herself. She knows she said something in this video today. She started talking about that for the first time. And I like when, that to me is verification of who I'm looking at when I see a gorgeous woman be aware of herself. I don't like when pretty women pretend that the reason they have success is completely because they may be very smart and may be very talented and all that. And I love that. And I don't want anybody to ever, especially our women, to take for granted that they are worthy of praise of what they really are, not just how they look. But do not dismiss the power of your beauty, because that is the art of the universe at its finest. And it does mean something. That's why I don't like when men or women, but especially when women be saying about men, I don't care how a guy looks. Bullshit. You may have a low bar on, some old average looking cat might be able to approach as long as his mind and his spirit is right. But ain't nobody looking too much like what you gonna call Ugly gonna ever have a damn chance. Just be honest And that is all in the eye of the beholder. So can't nobody say what that is. Everybody might shoot their shot all the same and see what happens. But you gonna learn if you live and take care of yourself. That's the main thing that'll make anybody look better than what they might look like at their worst. What your chance is, right? But she's aware she's an attractive woman. And she was talking about the hell she's been through when she worked in corporate. She was talking about so the video was really about why she eventually moved to Thailand. So if you want to look it up, like I say, I'm literally doing a straight up support of a fellow YouTuber who doesn't even know me, maybe. I mean, I doubt she's got time to read all of her comments because she gets a lot. But I have commented and gave her positive feedback and stuff like this. And did my little subtle flirtations because I like to make it real clear. This is a tip for all my fellas. There's another reason why I say don't be about that bullshit, y'all. Fellas, let me tell you something, man. Don't be that slick, sly, goofy fool thinking that you're going to come in pretending to, I don't even see your face. You're gorgeous, but I don't even see that. You're just such a great person. Now, yeah, man, I understand. I love all that. But do not deny that the reason why you clicked on the video with the thumbnail is you saw that pretty face and said, who is that? I want to know whatever she's talking about. That is literally how I found this woman on Brother Isaiah's channel. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm a straight man and Isaiah can't hold my attention. Yeah, handsome brother, do your thing, young buck. But guess what? When you got a woman on there in that thumbnail, play up. That's why the hell I hit play. It wasn't you, pimping. And he know that, and everybody, every YouTuber knows that. We know this. Shout out to International Zoe again. I shout out Zoe a few times in a lot of my lives here and there because he'll have some topics have me going too because he be out there. And he's a major traveler who I admire for what he's been able to accomplish. I always say the top of the pile for me is Ace Live. Shout out to Ace forever, man. He really the one got my wheels turning on what was possible because that brother done hit damn near everywhere in the world on continents and islands. I mean, he's insane, but he do it all. He do it all. Shout out Ace. But anyway, back to Zoe. I was saying Zoe had, he do his thing, the Sunday sermon. So he had one today where he was talking and he was going through some shit. I said, damn, and the saddest part is I could see this happening because of other things he had mentioned before. I said, well, I guess, chickens coming home to roost type mess. Zoe was a ladies' man, right? And he had this honey that he was dating for a minute and things didn't all work out, So they went their ways and she ends up coming out of the dark on some mad at him stuff of telling him he had to take down videos of her even though she willingly participated. I'm talking about this is like over a year and multiple months of videos of them living together. Like, I said, golly. And she's like wanting all the videos taken down and saying he didn't have permission to use her image and all this kind of nonsense. And she was willingly on camera. I mean, this girl became like one of the darlings of his channel. All the guys and gals who watch, especially his guys, because his audience is mostly guys. Because Zoe gonna have some pretty women on his shows. That's what he do. And she coming for him now. It's like he ain't even got a divorce. They wasn't even that deep, but it's like that kind of energy. Like you coming for the man about his, damn, you willingly participate and now you want to act like all get brand new. But see, stuff be like that, man. With some. But like I mentioned his channel just to say, he's good for knowing. He was talking about, is it good to worry about always having fine women in your videos if you're not going to go through the safety of making sure they understand. If you're going to be in here long term like this character was, she became a character of the channel, you got to sign some papers. Otherwise, hell no. Like, he meets somebody at the beach real quick, meet somebody while he walking and talking, whatever. But other than that, you better get a daggone release because folk out here on some BS. If they smell the potential of money, they own you. And it's crazy because it's like, come on, man. Damn. Anyway, Oh, well, I hope this music, it sounds cool, but I hope this music ain't gonna be too loud and recognizable. Oh, man. Mexico. Represent. They bumping on a Sunday hard. That's a family party. Right off this walking way. Man, is that, I hope that's not too loud. Can y'all make out any lyrics? I hope not. That's all. If you can hear the lyrics, I'm jacked. They're gonna be like, copyright just can't be seen in 500 countries. You motherfucker. Damn, they need to get rid of that copyright BS. If it don't do nothing but help you sell some music, because everybody might say, hey, I like that song. Who is that? Somebody gonna buy the damn track. They ain't even heard it till today, but instead you up here tripping about, you had it. I didn't have a damn thing. I was taking a fucking walk and the shit happened. You don't get out my damn favorite. Anyway. I'm walking fast and talking loud on purpose, trying to blur it, y'all. Anyway, back to, I was talking about Chloe. So she was breaking it down, man, in this video, her many reasons for why she decided to move to Thailand. And I want you to watch it for yourself. I can't speak for her, but just certain things she highlighted that really was so empowering and powerful. She is a U.S. Army veteran who was deployed in Afghanistan. She spoke without speaking in the way most of my military friends do when they speak of actual combat. They don't want to get into it too deep because the shit is it's for real, man. PTSD is serious. And she's got a very, I don't know, I've known a few ladies like this, personal friends who are military like this. Pretty women who when first, you just meet them, if you got a stereotype about, who's in service like that, you wouldn't even think that they would be in that would be, something they do, because it just doesn't look like this image of you, what you imagine, somebody rough, more gruff, more tomboy, more wannabe, as much like a man as possible type woman. You don't imagine the prissy lady who literally goes and gets her nails done 24/7. Like, I've never seen this Chloe lady without her nails done, hair on, whatever, she hidden, she just that girl. And she loves makeup and all that stuff, right? She's a total priss. Favorite color, pink. She said it in the interview the first time I ever saw her on Isaiah's channel. So you wouldn't think, but then, again, I know too many different types of people, so I never assume. And I picked up a little certain thing about her energy that reminded me of some of my lady friends who are military like her, who are total prisses. Like, they're even more prissy outside of service, because it's almost like they're trying to make up for all the time they had to spend being somebody they never were, just to do the job that they signed themselves up to do, to get the money, to get, whatever the benefit they wanted from that experience. And it's usually two ways. It's either they lifers, where they still involved in military like that, or they like, that was then, this is now. I don't owe Uncle Sam nothing, but I can tell you some stories. And that's kind of how Chloe sounds. I'm not saying that's how she said it. I'm saying that's how it came off to me. But she spoke of, having survived something where she could have lost her life. And then she spoke of how disgruntled she was back in the 20-teens when that long, constant, like it ain't never stopped, but when it was like hitting the news of police harassment, killing of defenseless black unarmed folks, situations from Floyd to other ones. She was just talking about, I think was the one Ferguson she's talking about, I think, where the brother got shot in the back on foot and didn't have nothing and all that old crazy shit. Man, she said when that happened and they deployed the National Guard to the city, she said that really worked her nerves, because all she could think was, will they end up, forcing me and other folks that in my unit to have to go against civilians in our so-called what we defend country? It's like, okay, damn, is this what I signed up for? Is this what I'm part of? Like, they would do that? Like, because you're sitting there, imagine. You're like, damn, I thought I was You know, and it's just like time and time again throughout history, from my grandfather's era when he was in World War II to different folks I know who went to Vietnam to, I mean, it just, Korean War, it doesn't matter. It's just constant, one after the other situation of time eras where black men and women who put their lives on the line for what you say is to defend this, and then you come back to this, and that other part of this, that other part, that other psychology, that group of whites who hate black folk, not the ones who ain't got no problem with nobody, not anybody who ain't got no problem with nobody. Or even sometimes, and many times, yeah, that'd be a whole nother issue. You come back and you got drama with your own so-called, what's supposed to be us. Man, come on. Black on black crime. Then you got weird ass policies going in. You throwing out people's history. You getting out people's jobs, opportunities that have held down their families for years. How many black folk have lost these government jobs under this insanity? So that's me just adding up what I know she was getting at. And I'm not putting words into what she had to say. I want you to watch what she had to say for herself. Check her channel out and support her, like I say. It's Chloe's Way. That's the name of her channel. Sister got a lot of good wisdom and on the ground, sensible advice on how to live in a foreign country like Thailand. Like I said, I've never been to Thailand, but I have been to Malaysia. And when I watch anybody's videos from Thailand, I feel like I'm looking at Malaysia sometimes because it's so similar in many ways to what I saw with Kuala Lumpur, Puchong, you know, Port Dickson, the places I went. I see a lot of similarities because it's the region. It's that region of the world. It's that you get in a certain region, there will be similarities. And I can say just from watching videos and looking at landscapes and stuff, there are generalizations you could make. Just like when you say the Caribbean and how, yeah, from even inland areas of the Caribbean Ocean nations, if you got the Yucatan state of Mexico, the land structures, the plants, the similarities are so like most of the Caribbean, the islands included. So same kind of thing happens with Thailand, Malaysia, all that. So, but I'm not saying they are by any means identical or don't have their very unique things that each one makes each one special as a country. Trust me, they got hundreds of thousands of things that do that. And that's the same with anything. That's just like, you know, the Georgia, Alabama, Florida. Yo, there are some similarities, but I promise you, there's enough about each of them that's like, man, that's only Georgia right there. Or that's only South Carolina. That's only Alabama. That's all, you know what I'm saying? But you will have some of the same trees, some of the same animals, some of the same fish, some of the same, you know, etc. It will be that way. That's the way this earth works. It's all, I always say that everything is in gradients. Strengths of colors and fading gradients of where there might be a chance it is, there's probably no chance of it there, there's definite chance of that, and you will have this, but you won't have that. That's the world. That's how life is. That's how land is. That's how the elements are. Give me a good walk. I love it. I needed this. Ooh, yeah, I needed this. I love it when I start feeling the sweat. I look at my arms and I can see it. That's when you know you're doing right, when you start sweating. That's when you know you're doing right. Getting what you need. And, let's see. I don't really care to go over to the park. I'll just keep on walking. Ooh, stay on my path. So yeah, this lady, check her channel out. Like I say, Chloe's Way. I should be her. Chloe, you need to hire me, girl. I'm your new unofficial brand ambassador. Yeah, and if you ever see this, I might put it in a comment so you can see that I was chopping it up and talking about you in this one. But yeah, I'd love to meet you when and I'll just say when, ain't no if, but when I get to Thailand someday, because I do plan to visit there. It's definitely always been on my list. Matter of fact, I wanted to go there before I wanted to go to Malaysia. I would have never thought Malaysia would have been the first place I went on that side of the world. It was just by chance it went that way. It was circumstantial because Thailand had always been top of that list. Hell, it was more like Thailand, Philippines. Yeah, more like Thailand, Philippines, Bali, Japan, South Korea. You know what I'm saying? Like that's, I'm getting my water here, y'all. I gotta get right. I gotta get right. It done got me good. I ain't got that good soak. I gotta keep fresh, gotta keep right, gotta keep hydrated. Hold tight. Let me see. I gotta put y'all on hold for while I get my business. Drop this phone for a minute. Oh man. Yeah. Whew. I'm looking at these ants on the ground. I'm glad none of them done got on my umbrella. Okay. Whew. And thanks for the likes too. I see I had 5 up in here. I appreciate that. 5 real ones came through today. That's about the average, you know, of people who actually are paying attention to what you got to say, appreciate, and maybe they're busy, so they still got to keep it moving, but they dipped in, they dipped out, but they like what they saw and heard. I appreciate you. Yeah, truly do, truly do. Appreciate you. That's my monetization nation. That's what I call them. Ones who do the actions we all say we need y'all to do. You know, YouTuber talk. Subscribe, like, comment respectfully only. That's that added ONYXCON automatic right there. Respect first, always. What I say, respect power, then money. But no matter what, respect. Please believe it. Art life, it's official. So, just, oh, that little bird. I thought that was an insect. He was so small. But I thought it may have been a cicada for a second. But anyway, I just want to say, man, when you watch videos like old girls, Chloe's and Zoe and Ace and oh man, so many favorites I got when it comes to the travel space. Passport Heavy, doggone Kaya, African Brethren. Oh no, Maya. That's Maya. Who else? Doggone, my Kenyan brother. I can see his face. I'm trying to say the name. Marwa. Marwa. Oh man. Check in effect. You know what I'm saying? Jay Abroad. Him and his lovely wife and family over there in Dominican Republic. Shout out. Who else? There's so many, y'all. I really got to do a new update video. I did a video one time where I shouted out all my favorites, and it was about 4 people at the time. I think it was nothing but like Ace, Zoe. I may have said check on that one, and one other person. And that was all I had at the time that I was watching regular. Richie Mack, of course. Zoom to Thailand automatically. We talking about Thailand. You gotta say. I mean, he the king of Thailand, man. You can say what you want, man. Richie Mack is the man. I don't care who else is over there. When it comes to a black man that's put it down the most proficiently, professionally, well-spokenly, comedically when he want to be. You know, he can be funny when he want to be. I relate to Richie because I'm in the biz, man. I'm in the film biz, so he come from that too. So we understand having personality and not just some equipment and somebody got a Zoom, a boom operator, a damn drone operator, a extra cameraman. You got a staff. That's good for you. But how about people who understand good lighting, good sound, and a actual personality, and making sure you don't look crazy when you get on camera. Like, put on a decent outfit, if not absolutely fresh. You know, get fresh. Hold on. Get fresh. You know what I'm saying? Come out looking. Oh, hold on. I gotta forget that. I turned the camera. It's gonna mess it up for y'all. Hold on. Let me do it like this. These the classics. I brought them out again. I bring them out at least once or twice every summer for the past. I done had these for. Would this make 2 summers? I know I wore them last year because I had them on in that House in the Park video. It's been at least. It may have been. It may be going on 3 years for these because I don't wear them all the time, and that's why they still looking like something. And, I clean them up and all that because it's hard to keep them fresh. But I love these shoes. They're great for walking. It always takes me a while to kind of break them back in when I first step back into them because you be wearing other shoes and your foot get used to those. So you put on something you ain't worn in a while, you be like, oh, wait a minute, hold up. But once I get walking, they just fine. They're super comfortable. Yeah. But it's like, point I make though, y'all, aside from all the variety of content I watch, everything, one thing stays true amongst everybody who's done it, who's either not permanently living abroad, which honestly, that way most appeals to me, but I can't lie to myself about my finances and the way my cards seem to be at this, just today. I mean, because I always know, man, stuff be changing. One thing can just make everything the difference. And the fact that I am still in the film biz, I am never going to, it's like, the amount of work I've done in that, as far as I'm concerned, I personally feel like the biz owes, the Hollywood side of it owes me at least one solid hell of a show or movie. I don't even need a show because shows you have to commit. You ain't gonna be able to if you get on a show that's a hit. I ain't gonna say it's impossible because I will say this: the one thing about a show, they only gonna shoot for no more. It depends on the type of show it is. It would never, on average, shoot for more than about 3-4 months. It's possible to go up to like 6 or something crazy because they might have to have reshoots and stuff like that. And definitely a movie can go 6 months. But on average, hell, a movie can go a whole year, shit. But on average, you're gonna hit about 3 months, So if you're on a hit show, the only thing about it is you just gotta be ready for the mental of the fact that once people love that character you are that person to them for life. Like, there'll be people who see you in the street and call you that character and not call you your name, and you constantly, do you even know my name? No, man, you so and so, man. Oh, damn. All right, man, let's just take the picture. You know what I mean? Like, it would be like that. So that's a consideration. Then there's the movie side of it, where to me, that's always I just prefer movies as a medium. I'm not against shows. I love great shows, but for my career, for what I want to be known for, I've always wanted to just have a major role in one of the major genres I love so much, being superhero, sci-fi, fantasy, horror, thriller, all that. Like, I've shown up in a hell of a lot of them. I've had my parts, my seconds, my moments, amazing features, standing right across, interacting with legends, all that good stuff. Black Lightning shout out, Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. I've given y'all the list before. I'm gonna keep giving it because them some credentials that don't never get old. I'm sorry if you get tired of hearing somebody be happy and proud of what they've done in a lifetime. That just means you ain't done enough of whatever it is you here to do. But I'm freaking forever proud of everything I did, and I'm gonna be that old man still talking about I was in Wakanda forever. You better be. I'm gonna be that dude because that is special. And can't nobody fade that, ever. You can't. You can't. If you've been in a Star Wars movie, can't nobody fade that forever. If you did anything Star Trek, forever. You know what I'm saying? Those are those kind of properties, man. That's that kind of stuff. It is what it is. You know? You could be in my least favorite Star Wars show, Andor. But you still did a Star Wars show, man. If I ever see the dude who did that, I'm like, hey, bro, respect. Period. You know, I didn't like the show, but you did that. You know, it ain't got nothing to do with whether I like it or not. That's Star Wars. Respect. That means something, and it just does. Period. Period. You know? So that's about all I want left out of that thing, man, to be honest, at this stage, because it's been too much up, down, all around, and everybody keeps saying it's gonna come back. I'm telling you, it ain't coming back worth shit. This is a desert now, okay? It is a desert. Just be honest. There's only one show I still get emails for, and you gotta understand, this is somebody who, I've been in the biz so long that once you work for certain companies, you're already on certain email lists. Like, it went in stages for me. It was a time when you had to be on Facebook 24 hours, always looking at the calls and sending your stuff in right when it drops. And that was the days back then, boy. That was when you was working no less than twice a week, but definitely 3 times a week on average, and sometimes a whole week with your same group of friends, and always meeting some new ones too. Meeting some folk you don't like, you might like, you never gonna like. But you know in the biz, you know how it go. And you're learning how it is to be on set and deal with all them different personalities and energies and directors and staffs and different crews and different catering and different, it was, it was deep in the beginning, right? Then you get to that stage where like, okay, we know you, Joseph, we'll just send you an email. And you get like that with a bunch of companies. So you got, and then you get the best of the best ones. Like say you was working for like 20 different companies, but then it narrowed down to like maybe the best of say 5 or something. And those be the ones that will keep you working all year long. You'll mess around and they'll just be, like sometimes you had to turn down one because they both sent you something for the same week. And that used to drive me crazy because it'd be so many good things. You'd be like, man, I want to do both of these shows or both these movies or whatever, or this show and this movie. Pardon y'all. And can't do it all. You got to pick one. Can't overbook, because that used to happen sometimes. But if you're the professional, hey, sorry, can't do this one. Gonna have to hold out. Don't forget me though. And the ones who real professionals know how it go, because they know who else is casting at the same time they was casting. And they'd be like, it's all good. We'll be on this project for a few months, Joseph. We'll get you on here next time. I said, that's what I'm talking about. Thanks so much. And you started even knowing people by name, all of that, right? But that went from being like that, where you had work like that, to times when it was a total drought, to times where the drought would end, it would come back, to stuff like the strike, which of course shut everything down, to coming back from the strike, and it was, okay, there ain't really no more heavy stand-in gigs, unless you were already doing mostly stand-in, which I was kind of at a point toward the end of the major run, so to speak, of doing a lot of Hollywood background work. I was getting a lot of stand-in too, because I would always get picked on set to be a stand-in and pulled from background. That would happen so much. That happened a lot. That's how I even got my first stand-in credits, to put that on my resume. And so, you know, unless you were like the guy who's known, guy or girl who you already know a whole staff, everybody by name, more or less on a crew, and they always call you and know you're gonna be the stand-in, the actor knows you and they only want you, you know, stuff like that. You weren't getting them stand-in gigs, and there wasn't many to get at a certain point. It seemed like, anyway. Mind you, stand-in, you typically they want you to be at least the ethnicity of the actor, if not the same complexion and the same height. That's the main thing, height. Because I've stood in for white guys. You know, some directors don't give a damn. They just want a body in front of the camera to measure. And then other times it's very serious. They really want you to look as close to the actor as possible, or at least within decent. You're not a double, but you're at least color-wise for the shot. They're gonna make sure everything's right based on you. So anyway, yeah, I did do enough of that too, but it got to a point where I was like, man, let me do some PA work. And that's when a whole nother world opened up. And in the beginning, it was pretty cool. Took a while for it to get cooking, but when it did cook one year particularly, it was sweet. Then this last year, following that year, this year, should I say, because that was this year, it just wasn't what it used to be, man. It's like they done cut everybody's hours. They weren't able to give you what they could before. Oh man, I was like, this is, wow, what's going on? You know what's going on? It's this economy, man. Folks, look, people act like everything ain't connected. Everything is connected in this world. So even, don't get me wrong, when I even talk about this expat thing, I'm not speaking that like, just because if you feel like I do about wanting to do it, that you're not forever tied to this place. Yeah, you just don't have to live here. You can make your money from here. You're going to always have family and friends here. You should come back and visit. You going to need to, I'm more than sure. I don't know what it feels like to literally live abroad. I don't know what any of that feels like. All I've ever done is a few vacations, to be real. I've said that. I've never hidden that fact. I don't have an extensive falling apart collection of passport books that, done wore out 4 and 5 passports. Man, I have one that was never used that was the biggest disgrace ever, because I always hated that I got so bogged down with life. And, oh, I'm so stressed with this marriage that I knew was going to end up with divorce. We never traveled. All we did was worry about some freaking bills and be stressed, with so many things. So then I said, when it was just me, I'm just taking care of me, man, I made my decision. I said, I got to go. And I was going to plan out this first trip to Mexico, and then that damn COVID hit. But that's like I say, when I said, I'm going to live through this, and I'm going somewhere for the rest of my life. I don't know, come hell or high water, I'm going. And I meant that. And so far, like I said, 3 years straight. That's why I'm always asking y'all, if you can donate. Because I know I'm speaking to somebody who done lived it and wanted this, and you might be able to help a brother if you can. Don't look at it simply as helping me. Look at it as helping the next person I'm inspiring through the way I make my content. Because my vlogs are edutainment. You feel me? From everything from my lives to the actual, here I am. I told y'all I was going to do this. Today is the day. I'm out here. Blah, 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 But you can look back and see somebody telling you how hard it was instead of somebody always flexing and flossing and saying some little quick slang words and acting like, you know what I'm saying, something a little light. All those stupid ass conversations these kids be talking today, that be pissing me off, man. I'd be like, if I hear one more goofy in a fashion video talking about something light, you wearing $500,000 what's and you said something light? Man, that's somebody's freaking whole year's worth of survival and you playing with it. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't be disrespectful to other folk who need what you taking for granted. Be happy that you got some fresh on. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Be fly. Be like, yo, man, I know I'm looking good. That's fine. But don't say no stupid stuff and get stuck in saying it like it's cool. It's not. It sounds goofy as hell. That's why I made up the phrase. I say, no, I don't say no damn. If I can't wait, oh man, I would love to meet the brother who do, what's that, the People's Gallery? Hello, brother, how you doing today? What's your name and where you from? I'd be like, I'm from Atlanta, Georgia. It's Joseph R. Wheeler III. What it is, what it ain't, what it gonna be like. It's your original true unk, Silver Fox in the house. Well, what you got on today, man? It's kind of simple, but it's affordable and it's feasible and it's still fresh. You feel what I'm saying? Oh, okay, talk your stuff, Joseph. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We go on down. We got the Nikes, these here. You clean them up with a toothbrush and keep them clean. You know why? Because ain't nothing light. Everything heavy. You understand? Shit costs. Them shoes. It's either the shoes or some food one day. The day you could afford the shoes and the food, you bought the shoes and the food. If it was between the shoes and the food, damn it, you bought the food. See, I need folks saying stuff like that. Because real ones going to be up out their seats saying, damn right. Because they looking at the calendar and the eviction notice on the door saying, damn it. You know, because they regretting that they bought that car they didn't need. Or they regretting that they just had to get with old girl around the way. But she wasn't worth the time because now they got to go to the clinic. See, they ain't dealing with them real things. So you get up in life, man, you don't care no more. You ain't trying to impress nobody. You just tell people the truth. If they want to hear it, they're going to eat it for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. They're going to be like, give me some more of that truth, because that's what time it is. I'm safe over here with the truth. Them lies, man, I almost ended up under a bridge. Because I was believing all them dumb motherfuckers talking about something light. Ain't nothing light out this motherfucker. Ain't nothing light, baby. Ain't nothing light. Everything is work. Y'all hear me? Do you hear me? Everything is work. Everything. Every damn thing. See, hear me now, believe me later. Yes, indeed. Now I'm at the best part, going up the hill. Get that heart pumping for real. You know why? Because ain't nothing light. Everything heavy. 186 to be exact. Sometimes 187 pounds. Oh, man. Nothing light. Oh, man, if y'all start saying it, just remember where you got it. Because y'all quick to bite, but y'all don't want to get no credit. Remember where you got it. Ooh, oh, wow. It's too much, y'all. It's too much. It gets old. And we all gonna get old. I'm older. So I know the value of everything I'm talking about. And I started to realize even more so than ever in my life how, man, you talking about the song of the decade. That Sade joint. Cherish the day. Oh my gosh. You talking about something can bring tears to my eyes. That song? Cherish the day, baby. If you don't know it, look it up. I ain't about to sing for y'all. I don't feel like it. I got it in my head. Plus, I gotta keep my breathing right. Yes. But that's it right there, y'all. That's it. That's for real, for real. If you don't understand that, you're gonna find out why it matters. And you can't be out here living reckless. And the saddest part is sometimes you're not even living reckless. You're just living. But other people's reckless decisions can and will affect your life if you involve them. And I've learned you can't let everything and everybody in. So this is where I look at all of this stuff. I'm talking about financially, etc. I can't let the evil plans and foolishness of an idiot in office that's taking this place into hell affect the rest of my life. Can't do that. Won't do that. Not gonna allow that. I'm not going to hell with you. Nope. Sorry, not sorry. I will not apologize. Say what, Roots? The Roots say, I will not apologize. I will not apologize. Oh, for my few who will recognize, because I will not apologize. Come on, man. That's real talk. That's real walk. We live it. Ain't nothing to apologize about, damn it. They don't apologize. They step right on your face and tomorrow I'll tell you, I didn't step on you, I kissed you. You lying, I don't know. You ain't got no time for that nonsense, man. I'm trying to show y'all how to get multiple trips enough. Here's the new goal, right? Let me tell y'all something. If anybody is more like my path where you ain't got the corporate, you never had the corporate job, you never were military, you never worked in the medical field, you never were a doctor or anything, none of those things that typically pay the most money, I'm saying, legal, anything like that, right? And yes, I mentioned military because I know military folk get paid when they get the right rank and stay in long enough or at least get out enough to pay for their education, et cetera, blah, blah, blah. I know too many of them to know. I know. And it gives them a certain kind of self-sacrificing perspective on life, I've seen too, because they've already put their body through so much stuff that they are a little more sacrificial. Like, the way some of us, I will say for myself for sure, and this ain't because I ain't experienced, but I'm not a friend of hospitals. I don't really want to be up in no hospital. But somebody who's been through that from some serious ailment or injury or something, lived that military life, they built different, man. They train to look at their body more like, hey man, it's like a car, you lose a part, you put another part on you. But I'm not saying all of them look at it like that, but I've come across a few who seem to have that kind of energy. So, if you're the opposite of that, where you're like, look man, I cherish all my limbs and everything I got, and I want to come in and leave with exactly what I had, and then that's a way to be, if that works for you, like it worked for me. And then you can't roll the dice as much as those kind of folks, and you can't listen to people who are like that as if that's not your way about approaching it. Now, I'm not saying that somebody who is like that can't share with you some general wisdom about how to live your life that is overall true. I think the problem sometimes, though, with some people out here, whether it's their ego or over self-assurance in their way of being successful, that they think it's a general plan for all of humanity, when no. The reality is there are some rules that are it's just like dieting. I always say, there is not one way to eat for all humanity. I don't like, if I meet somebody who's talking about everybody ought to be vegan or vegetarian, I know you on some stuff I don't need to be around. You tripping, because you haven't enough about human genes to understand that the ancient, the prehistoric, and all the other time scales of what goes into the genes of who we are as people will truly determine what works for us, because we are so mixed. And you can't say, well, because you got Afrocentrics who try to pretend that everybody who claims the construct, because that's what it is, of race, black. Okay, well, if you black, you all from Africa, and all Africans did this. We're like, wait, what are you talking about? Africa's a continent. Not everybody in every region of Africa ate the same diet. Not everybody in all parts of Africa. Oh my God, that makes all sense without even having to go no further. That's ridiculous. It's like trying to say that if you put you've got a German chef, a French chef, a Senegalese chef who will be influenced by the French chef because of the French colonization, to prepare meals, and they put them all on the table and ask you, where the similarities lie and where the differences are. You're going to see some major differences, even where there's some fusion. You're going to be like, yeah, but what they did with this, they took that French thing and twisted it out with this other thing, and they don't do that in France. So so imagine, and that's on a modernization of when people even had the idea of a chef. But you take it back to where there was no chefing. There was just eat to survive, right? And people ate all types of stuff for centuries in specific regions. So if you are a mix of any 2, 3, 4, 5, possibly 10 major groups of peoples, but most likely at least 2 or 3 major groups of peoples, then you ain't gonna have no one diet that's going to, oh, there it is, that's what I gotta be. No, man, it's very complicated. So the same is true when people start talking about something like travel or living an expat life. and getting your finances together. It's like we didn't all come from the same situations. But I think there's a lot of generalization going on. I do find this more common with some of the expat types who talk. I think they assume the only people who would want to even try that life are people who already have big corporate money and they got used to a certain kind of cushy lifestyle. Like, and before I go in this segue, he's not like that. I want to say that. He's not like that. Okay? Make it very clear. He's not braggadocious. He's not flamboyant or materialistic. So I'm mentioning the Isaiah Bradley guy. He said on a video I was watching today, it was talking about the step-by-step process of becoming an expat. And he says at one point, and this is, loosely quoting, no direct quotes. I never say I'm doing a direct quote because I can't remember exactly what was said. But more or less, he said he used to do pressure washing as a major one of his jobs. He had a few other sources of income. I think he even said when he first started his YouTube channel, he was talking about pressure washing and had ambitions of travel or whatever. But once he got to Thailand, then of course it switched over to nothing but that. But it was a process of going from a pressure washing business and all the other things he was doing with online e-commerce and certain things he was saying he sold, I don't know if he mentioned drop shipping and some of that other stuff that is real popular, or so saturated that now I feel like I sometimes wonder why people still talk about it, but I guess there's something to it. Because when I've looked into it, not just looked into it, I tried affiliated brand marketing with one of the big ones and tried to get just the first freaking some cents, a dollar. Man, I'm talking about this thing was up for 2 months. I didn't get a damn thing, and I had what I thought. The other thing, the site itself was very convoluted the way it was structured. It wasn't clear how to place the ads on your website. And at the time, I had ONYXCON.com in effect, which I've since then pulled that because it just wasn't giving me no numbers. So I did a whole nother video about why I don't think a .com is even necessary for some types of businesses in this new age market. I think if you're doing YouTube like I am, YouTube becomes your .com, quite frankly. You don't need a .com. You don't need a page to be like, hey, I'm Joseph R. Willard III. Here's my bio written out. Like, man, y'all come here every day and listening to me. All I'm doing, what? You just need to see it written? Like, that's about the only difference a website gonna get you. And a little archival book of everything that ONYXCON ever did as an organization, okay? But more and more, I'm just saying, when I would look at our numbers from on there, we weren't getting the numbers that we used to get when .coms were more popular. So anyway, I took it down, bottom line. And he was just saying that, like, because I'm getting way off on that tangent, but he was saying that, he made pretty good money, man. The brother Isaiah said he made really good money doing this pressure washing thing and other stuff he was doing. And he was describing some of the vehicles he had, how he had some like nice Cadillac and something else he mentioned. And when he said that, I was thinking, okay, I hear you. But I thought about what he was doing and how that could definitely be lucrative if you got enough clientele. And he's got a great personality. He's just that dude anybody would trust, and I know he's a man of his word kind of guy. I'm sure he did excellent, because that's so hard to find. So people was probably knocking his phone down daily. He couldn't stop making bookings, I'm more than sure he was doing real good. But yeah, man, it's like, the bottom line is, hey, what he was doing and what I know it takes to do something like that, because I've done a little bit of pressure washing in my days. I did it recently, actually, for a family member that needed some stuff done. And I actually enjoyed the process, even though it was, it's work. It will tire you. But I like physical work. I like stuff that can be turned into a little workout while I'm doing it. So I don't have to think of it like that, and I'm getting the benefit of building my muscles and staying healthy. So, and I admit, the thought crossed my mind. I said, shoot, I need to buy me a pressure washing machine. First of all, I ain't got no money for no pressure washing machine. But renting one, like the family member had done for me to do what I needed to do for them, went through my head. Hell, you rent until you can own. And then, and that's what most guys who do that would do. But I'm saying, is that even what I want to do? I'm throwing out an idea for somebody who wants to do that. It ain't even about want, sometimes it's need. But I always say, you gotta look at the clock. How much time in a day, how much clientele, where there's an actual need versus an assumed need, and will you get the result you know you need to make the numbers you need to make it all make sense on the bottom line as a business? Because everything else, and anytime you keep starting over again, doing yet another business venture, trust me, people, anything you decide to make money is a venture. No matter how simple it is, there will be a learning curve. There will be obstacles. There will be stuff you have to learn about it. I'm the last person who want to talk you out of doing something as if you need to be doing something and you ain't doing nothing. I'm not talking to the people who ain't doing nothing, but I am saying if you already doing, like you already have some regular, takes up most of your time job. Maybe you don't have a 9 to 5, but you do, like me, you do a gig job. Like I do the courier thing y'all see me doing. I'm about to do it now, today, even though y'all see me on this walk. This is the first part of the day. I'm about to get in the car and see if I can get one of these rides, a couple of them at least maybe, and round out the day like that, you know, on a Sunday. Like, bump it, let's go. Gotta handle business, let's get this money, right? If you have something like that, then more than likely, I'm gonna be real with you. Y'all see me in the car with the time I'm on, if y'all watch my channel, for real. And I'll do a 2 hour sometimes. Y'all ain't gonna do it on solid 2 hour. You're gonna see me cutting on, cutting off, cutting on, cutting off. But if you add it up, you're like, damn, he's probably on for about 2 hours talking to us. But that means that's all you saw. There's another 2, 3, 4. I'm on average 6 to 8 hours a day doing that gig. Okay? There will be another possible 6 hours of my day, possible 8 hours of my day, worrying about, trying to figure out, trying to plan out and edit and do voiceovers for videos that require that, et cetera, for new content to post here. Speaking as I say that, I got one video now that I need to finish editing and get it on out here for y'all, but I'm gonna do that. I just reminded myself just from saying that. Piece that damn thing together and just drop it. But, and I was starting to doubt and think maybe I need to tune this up and edit that. And, man, I don't over edit no more. I say what I got to say. In this world of everybody dropping their mostly half-ass opinions, I'm one of the most well-researched people you'll ever see when it comes to me talking about something historic. And I was talking about the Jimi Hendrix movie starring Andre 3000 and how even though I liked Andre's work as an actor as always, I found out the movie had a lot of full of shit moments. And I didn't like that they were messing with a lot of untruths because that's not healthy, especially in this world now, with that becoming so very common and made to be its own genre of existence. Like you could just exist in total BS and it's okay. I was like, no, that's not cool. That's not cool at all. So I don't like that. But anyway, y'all will see when the video drops what I had to say on that. I was talking about yesterday in a live too. So man. So yeah, I do a lot in a day already with what it takes to make this channel flow. And this is my most important. I do stuff on Instagram too. I relay a lot of posts over there, content curate, repost. There's editing involved in that. Because you got to make sure everything that I quote people's captions and all that to give them credit and all that. So, it's a process, man. It's not, nothing is just, oh yeah, just do this. Oh yeah, man, you want some money, just do this. Anybody ever says the word just, like it ain't no big deal, get as far away from that idiot as you can, man. Because folks like that don't mean you're no good and they're not honest with themselves, so how they going to be honest with you? They're dangerous. They will literally have you in debt, in stress, in a constant state of unfinished and maybe and not really, but sort of. I'm talking about from business relationships to intimate relationships to everything. Get away from people who speak in frivolous tones about things. Nothing is simple. Like I said about that phrase that people be saying about fashion nowadays, it's something light. Ain't nothing light, man. So tell that to the person in that country that they're at the bottom of the totem pole, even though there's plenty of money in these so-called third world countries, but they're not part of that part of the economy. But they make your fancy jersey, your shoes, your whatever. Tell them it's something light. You disrespectful scrub. So what? You got a credit card and a high limit and a job for today. Wait till this fucking regime takes that shit from you and see who you are after that. Let's see if you still can stand around with your chest out like you all that. Because are you the man because you got money, or are you the man because people respect you? I want to be about respect wherever I go. That's why everywhere I go, I get welcome. That's what we talking about, y'all. ONYXCON. It's a lifestyle. Peace.